Alright, so Wrestlemania 31, yes. I just watched it. I literally finished watching it a few minutes ago. Today is Monday, March the 30th.
Correct.
Yeah, I am yet to watch Monday Night Raw, so it won't figure in this podcast, and by the time this podcast will come out, it will be already outdated. But it doesn't matter, because I had to get this out there and say that WrestleMania 31 was surprisingly good. That's kind of the best thing I can say about this year's WrestleMania. It was surprisingly enjoyable. Very much enjoyable. It had the worst booking, the worst build-up, the worst everything surrounding it, and yet the event itself was surprisingly solid. Surprising being the key word tonight.
Very surprising, apparently.
So let's talk about it. Ross haven't seen WrestleMania, but he's the guy who's monitoring the Twitter feed, apparently.
Yeah, well, it was just ablaze with it, so...
Could you go back to the blaze and scorch a little bit so we can get... So I actually want to know the reactions of the fans, for a change, because while I give you my reactions to it...
Well, let me see. I can't say I looked particularly positive on Twitter, but then again, I follow some more jaded wrestling fans, so that also probably didn't do the show any favors there. I can't tell you specific things just because I don't have access to Twitter on this particular computer, but yeah.
So what was the very general reaction to WrestleMania?
Most of the guys I was following were just saying it was really stupid or, ridiculous or ridiculously stupid. Or at least they were happy that Roman Reigns did not win the belt.
Yep, Roman Reigns did not win the belt.
That's about the greatest positive I heard, at all.
Well, what do you expect when everything was booked the way they did? I mean, they had the audacity of sending Daniel Bryan, of all people,
into Midgard Hell. Midgard Hell, yeah.
Into as you put it, into Midgard Hell.
Midgard Hell.
Yes, they send him back to Final Fantasy VII
yep.
to look completely outdated and out of place compared to the environment. No, but seriously, they send him to Midgarden Hell, and what's worse, they have him actually win the accursed bell in that six-man ladder match that might as well be a Money in the Bank ladder match at that point.
Jeez, really? Okay, so he gets the Intercontinental Champion championship that doesn't mean jack and or shit right now. Fantastic.
Yeah, jack and or the following, yes, pretty much. But hey, at least the match itself was pretty good, and I'm going to say that is pretty much the leitmotif of the night. Pretty good matches on their own right, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But everything surrounding them, the drama, the build-up, the booking, or sometimes even the end result, not being convincing. With that said, the ladder match was still pretty good for what it was, but the sad thing is that we've been spoiled with multiple persons ladder matches at this point. We've seen them all over the years, over the months in the years, over the pay-per-views, over the Money in the Bank ladder match pay-per-views, over the Mania, over that and this.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing new to behold with ladder matches. And Daniel Bryan was criminally overused in that match. In fact, if I had to complain about that match in particular, is that Daniel Bryan
carried it.
Well, no, is that Daniel Bryan almost didn't do anything in it. I swear, everyone else did at least something memorable, but Daniel Bryan, all he did was his running kick and headbutting Dolph Ziggler and win the title. Didn't do really much. While everyone else, especially Luke Harper was kind of the revelation of the match. He did a lot of impactful and memorable moves. Even though those moves we've seen them before many a time, so nothing new under the sun. Still, solid match, questionable result, questionable choices of bringing Daniel Bryan into this, which they are going to pay dearly for. And also there is the little detail that I swear made me downright nuclear. They had Daniel Bryan lose in a one-on-one match against Dolph Ziggler before this event. That's the worst thing you could do to Daniel Bryan. Even worse than letting win the championship, the IC title.
Yeah.
Is having him beaten by the biggest
jobber in the company. I know.
Well, not even the biggest jobber, the biggest no future kind of guy in the company. Not even that. It's kind of sad, but still enjoyable match. Now, the match that, if you ask me, is the best match of the night would be the one between Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. Again, terrible booking, terrible build up. They had Randy Orton destroying Seth Rollins a few weeks before, so basically rendering this match and his comeuppance and this payoff null. But still, it was a great match and great, fast-paced, great moves and all that. Great finisher though. You know how it finished?
How?
Okay, all right. Okay, this is the stuff of legend. This might be one of the best RKO's ever pulled out of nowhere, and they reserved it for WrestleMania, rightfully so. Okay, so Seth Rollins was about to do his typical running, stomp. What's the name of the move? I don't. What are you doing, Ross? Stop ruffling about. You're disturbing me. My concentration.
I required water.
Okay, so Rollins was about to do his finisher move, that stomp that he does. But the millisecond his foot touched the back of the head of Orton, Orton retaliated, propelling Seth Rollins into the air, like in the very second, and when he came back, he found himself locked in an RKO. It all happened in a split second, and it was glorious. I loved that finisher. And then Randy won.
Of course.
Okay, all right. So that's one. Okay, then there was. Okay, so the feud between Sting and Triple H.
They didn't call it a feud.
Yes, the thing, whatever they were having, thing, which also was terribly booked. But hey, the match itself, well, was actually not that bad. I mean, for what it was.
The fact that you have two guys well past their prime trying to do it.
Well, actually no, Triple H still got it and got it strong. It's Sting. Sting managed to land a dropkick for the major surprise of everyone in the universe.
Yeah, he was like, oh my god, you just destroyed your hip there, didn't ya?
But anyway, no, the match was solid and not too slow, not too fast, paced just right. But then the selling point of the match became clear because what happens? It happens that the D-Generation X comes down the ramp. It's the freaking Billy Gunn and
Road Dogg,
Rod and X-Pac.
They really brought X-Pac in? Okay.
Yeah, there was X-Pac. I swear to you. And then NWO came down the ramp. It was Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, the three oldest guy in this business, basically. And they came into the ring. They tried to help their protected fellow to win the match, and then Shawn Michaels comes out and switching music Sting, which was the highlight of the match if you ask me. And then it comes down once again to Sting and Triple H manages to steal a win by hitting Sting with his destroyed sledgehammer, which was previously destroyed by Sting's police baton, which apparently is also a shotgun if the previous pay-per-view suggest otherwise. That was the most that thing they did in the previous pay-per-view in Fastlane was absolutely ridiculous. Sting was handling that baton like it was some sort of a shotgun at Triple H's chin. No, please don't shoot me. It was
goofy as hell.
So yes, so Triple H wins this rivalry with the WCW. That was never actually a rivalry with WCW, and this quote-unquote feud comes to an end, and they shake hands, and overall it was rather satisfying. I had nothing particularly negative to say about it. It was the only...
Besides the fact that they brought basically every guy that was performing on TNA back into WWE for one night.
What are you saying? TNA does not exist? There's not such a thing as TNA? What are you? What do you live in fairy tales and fantasy?
I am a fairy.
This is reality, and in reality, Brock Lesnar wins and everyone else loses. Most of the times. Not seriously, Paul Heyman cuts the best promos ever.
Probably.
It was, the only reason to tune into Monday Night Raw was to watch Paul Heyman singing the Lords, singing
Brock
the praise
Lesnar
of the great and only God among men, Brock Lesnar, the Terminator, the Destroyer of Worlds, the unbeatable one.
Yeah, because he never shows up himself.
And that's actually sometimes he shows, but that's besides the point. That's a good thing he doesn't show up. You know why? Because by not showing up week after week after week, he has more legitimacy. Because showing up all that often will have you locked into the same matches over and over again, and before long you lose credibility.
So what you're saying is the only way to win in WWE is not to play.
Exactly. And then when you actually do show up to play, you kill everything.
But yeah, that basically summarizes WWE in a nutshell still. The only way to win is not to play.
Okay, so the Sting Triple H match was actually much better than I thought it would be, and that's only because I was not expecting anything at all from it. Given the circumstances, they did the best job they could possibly do with it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Also, Triple H had the best ring entrance ever, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many people I heard on Twitter groaning about this?
Really?
Yeah, really.
I thought it was really exciting. It reminded me of when I used to watch wrestling regularly a few years ago, when he did something like that, like the Conan the Barbarian entrance at Wrestlemania 22. I love that. It's over the top. It's cinematic. It's
fun.
It's well constructed. It's fun. Yes, that is fun. I mean, Triple H, yes, the freaking Terminators, the actual Terminator models surrounding him. He comes out of nowhere wearing the skulls and of some dead Terminator all upon his back, and before that, there was the Apocalypse. There was literally the Apocalypse on the Titantron.
Knives and stabbing weapons.
But there was even this moment in which the camera became the point of view of the T-9000 to scan the danger, and he detected his target. He detected his target. It was Sting. I loved that. It was so fun. So fun. I am not yet jaded enough not to appreciate this sort of
over the top parody. Yes.
It was great. It was great. It was also appropriate because, well, the event was sponsored by the next Terminator.
Yes. You know what that would have been appropriate on? Brock Lesnar.
Yes, he is the actual Terminator. If we put a match between Brock Lesnar and T-9000, Brock wins after 18 German suplexes.
Well, you get the idea. I think people are more groaning that was Triple H doing it.
Oh, well, that actually makes sense. In fact, Brock's entrance was nothing really spectacular, but that makes sense with the character because Brock's
Brock
character is that he
Lesnar
doesn't
is a very no-nonsense character.
Yes, he doesn't have a character. He is legit as legit comes. He just shows up, destroys.
Like, hey, I want a paycheck, and and in order to get my paycheck, I have to destroy you. Sorry.
Oh, this guy that I'm about to fight. Who is this guy? Roman Reigns. Okay, sure, whatever. I'm just going to destroy him, then get my paycheck, and then come back again to destroy the next guy because that's what I do. That's just what I do, man.
Like, there's nothing personal. I don't feud with anyone. I just destroy them.
I am Brock Lesnar. I'm Brock Lesnar. Welcome to Suplex City, bitch. That is the best one-liner ever. Welcome to Suplex City, bitch. That was so good. He just said that in the middle of his match with Reigns. That was great. That was great. Okay. Okay, then there is the feud between John Cena and
Rusev.
Just going to skip over that. The match was solid. It was good, but predictably, John Cena wins.
John Cena won. Yes, of course.
But I will say that Rusev had a great entrance, not as memorable as the Terminator one by Triple H, but the guy entered the arena aboard a tank. That's got to count for something. A tank, my friend. I mean, this WrestleMania might have some of the best entrances in that regard. Okay, there is a women's match, tag team match.
No one cares about women's or tag team division at this point.
Hashtag give divas a chance. Right.
No.
That's working out. That's working out. I'm sorry to say, but if you're not going to make proper use of your women wrestlers, because that's what they are.
Yeah, they basically need to completely fold that entire section of the company at this point.
Okay, it's clear for everyone in the whole universe that you are sexist, and it's all about the men, and nobody cares about the women wrestling. So you might as well drop the facade altogether and not have a Divas division.
Yeah, just get rid of the Divas division.
The problem is that if they do that, they have to cancel
Total Divas.
Total Divas, which apparently is getting
which again does not seem like much of a loss in my book, but you know,
it's getting its third season. Apparently, it's popular. Go figure.
Who the fuck watches that? I will kill them.
You will send Brock Lesnar to F5 them one by one.
No. I'll have them German suplex them for half an hour.
You do realize he gets 10,000 grand per suplex, right?
Really? Seriously?
No, but he might as well do, because every suplex he does is a work of art. A work of destruction art, that is.
Okay.
Okay, so might as well talk about the main event at this point. Oh wait, no, there was this match between Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker.
Yeah, I have no idea how that went. Okay. I didn't care.
Okay, so the main event, the Undertaker wins.
Shock.
Yes, I think no way they were going to have him lose 2 years in a row.
Right.
And I am saddened by this because Bray Wyatt, I really like Bray Wyatt. Also, I'm going to say this, he had the best entrance in WrestleMania. Even better than the Terminator one, if you ask me.
How much you want to bet Bray Wyatt is just going to find himself in mid-card hell in a few, weeks?
I really hope not. But then again, this entrance. Okay, so the theme, if you will, of this feud is that Bray Wyatt was going to resurrect the dead man to fight him again, right? To put him to rest once and for all. Resurrecting to put him to rest. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway,
it's so stupid.
His entrance, I would have been completely behind this feud if it was better booked, and if Wyatt had still had, the Wyatts behind him. But
if Wyatt had any legitimacy.
But here's the thing, his entrance was pretty solid. Okay, so it's not just what happens inside the entrance, it's the way it's shot. It's a very cinematic shot of him walking slowly into the ramp at the beat of his own music. The camera slowly pans slowly away from him, and that's when revealed that there are actual undead zombies walking beside him at the beat of his own really cool theme song. And there are a couple of scarecrows still like that in scarecrow positions, and he looks at them and he touches them and they come to undead life. The undead following him at the beat of his song while he slowly walked towards the ramp with his own theme music, and it was atmospheric, it was memorable, it was really well done, well directed, I want to say. The only thing that doesn't work is the fact that
it's Bret Wyatt.
No, I actually like very much Bray Wyatt. The only thing that doesn't work is the fact that there was still daylight and it was an open arena. If it was night, it would have been so much more atmospheric.
Gotcha.
But anyway, it was really a really good entrance. The match itself was, well, The Undertaker is old, so I'll let you imagine how the match was.
I'm going to guess that was pretty putrid.
Not putrid, solid, but extremely
slow. Not much
yes.
In the way of a type of movement by the Taker, I imagine.
He managed to pull off an old school, of all things.
Huh.
You know the old school when he walks on the ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Okay, let's talk about the main event, because it's where all the buzz will be at.
Yes.
Alright, so we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and his name is not Roman Reigns.
Well, that's always a start, because, no one likes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't like Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is too mildly smug to notice that he doesn't like Roman Reigns. Well, I'm glad. Well, since the arena was open without a roof, I'm actually glad nobody reigns on the parade.
Oh, I have to walk away for a second because of that. Seriously. Okay, I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ross's biggest contribution to this podcast.
Yeah, I still don't know why you broke me along for this, but okay.
Because I wanted you to do.
Because I was there.
Because you were there, basically, and I wanted to exchange a couple of ideas with you, and I wanted to see. Since you're the guy who saw the Twitter feed, I don't bother with Twitter feeds because I form my own opinions. Thank you very much. But anyway, so the main event, Brock versus Roman. Well, Brock practically kills Roman for 20 minutes, much to everyone's enjoyment. He destroys him, he suplexes him, he destroys him some more, he kicks him, he beats him up, he brings him out of the ring, he brings him inside the ring, he kicks him some more, and then he says, "Welcome to Suplex City, bitch," which will be the greatest tagline ever, at least for this year. No, seriously, during the match there was an actual hashtag Suplex City at some point brought up. so yes, that happened, and you can tell that's going to be popular. So Brock Lesnar destroys Roman Reigns for the majority of this match. Roman manages to give a couple of jabs that couple of lucky shots that manage to open some wounds in Brock Lesnar's face that only makes him angrier. So destruction of the Roman Empire it is. Yes, because Brock Lesnar traveled back to time and he single-handedly destroyed and suplexed the entire Roman Empire.
Of course, that makes sense.
Every single Roman soldier was laid on his back in a gigantic pile, and he F5s them all, and the majestic power of the F5 was such to send each and every soldier from every side of the world, and the world was destroyed. That's Brock Lesnar, the mayor of Suplex City. And so, but then Roman gets lucky. Here's what happens. Brock is about to push Roman into the ring post from outside the ring. Roman manages to push Brock into said ring post, and at this point, there is a gashing, bleeding wound opens on the head of Brock Lesnar. The guy is hardcore, by the way. That was a really gashing, open wound that he managed to get.
So I'm sure this only mildly annoys him.
Well, he seemed to be fumbling and jumbling for a while, and Roman manages to get a couple of Superman punches and a couple of spears, which are not enough to beat him, of course. Then he tries to go for a third one. At this point, Lesnar again locks him in the F5 for the fourth time, and he hits it, but he's too mildly annoyed by the wound to capitalize.
Oh, okay.
Let's put it at that. At this point, Seth Rollins' music plays out. Because, of course, Seth Rollins' music plays out. And Mr. Money in the Bank comes into the ring, and this match turned into a triple threat match, and Seth manages to capitalize, and at the end of the day, he's the new World Heavyweight Champion. And everyone in the arena was actually happy with that result.
Yeah.
Because Roman didn't win.
Exactly.
And they actually managed to make the ending of this WrestleMania rather memorable. So there you go, WrestleMania 31, a solid event in its own right, with terrible booking all surrounding it. Terrible controversy and terrible handling of a potential babyface, which is not going to be the next best thing at this point, not after being beaten and mangled by Lesnar, and still not be able to beat him.
No kidding.
So there you go, Lesnar is as legit as ever. Still.
I don't think Lesnar comes in non-legit.
No, Lesnar will always be legit unless they manage to ruin him, but at this point, even they cannot manage to summon something so demonic from the depths of hell to ruin the legitimacy of Brock Lesnar, because even if they would summon the devil himself to steal Brock's wrestling ability and talent, Brock would just suplex him 20 times in a row or something. So Seth Rollins walks away with the championship. First time ever cashing in WrestleMania. I guess it was overdue, this.
Yeah.
So there you go, WrestleMania 31. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. And what it was 4 hours of silly but solid wrestling with terrible stories behind it.
Fantastic.
Now there was, okay, what infuriated me the most, in fact, didn't even have to do with the actual wrestling per se. It had to do with a freaking segment involving Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and The Rock, and the women's UFC champion, I believe. Because guess what? The Ultimate Fighting Championship has a legit women's division.
Yeah, I'm sure that, WWE cares about that.
Yep. So, and the problem with this segment is that it goes on forever.
They're like, we can do that if we want to, we just don't want to.
Okay, so it goes on for 30 minutes or something. It was ridiculous. It was only there to pad the length of the pay-per-view up. And only because they had the brilliant idea of broadcasting the Tag Team Championship matches, which nobody cared about, and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which also nobody cared about, in the pre-show. But anyway, that's it. WrestleMania 31. I enjoyed it. I talked about it. Ross just listened to me, and this wasn't much of a podcast at all. But there you go.
You have it off your chest at least.
Yes, this was a satisfying evening for me, and maybe only for me, but we'll see now, because now I'm curious what's going to happen. Because of all this controversy with Seth Rollins coming out on top, the only one who looks bad is Roman Reigns. They are really burying him. I can tell they are already burying him so bad because, yeah.
Well, they kind of should.
They did, and they did with this main event, while Brock Lesnar actually comes out as the babyface because he pwned Roman, and in spite of the disadvantage he had because of the gashing wound, he still manages to pwn him. So that's as babyface as a babyface can be.
Fantastic.
So there you go. And you know what? I'll be all for a feud between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar and Reigns on the side, a rematch, because whenever I see Seth Rollins and Lesnar in the same match, and that match happens to be a triple threat, it's going to be a masterpiece. So there you go. I guess I got this off my chest, so now we can do other things, okay?
Yay!
Okay, so night everybody.
Night.